Okay, we're going to do a couple questions from today's handout, Lesson 3, Division with Remainders. So I'm going to start off with question number 10. I recommend that if you think you know what you're doing, to just pause the video now and do the question yourself on Loose Leaf, and then play the video to see if you're right. Okay, so if you're watching this, you are watching me do the question. We want to do this divided by this. So we're going to set up the larger number, the dividend, underneath the division bracket. Set up like that. We put p plus 7 on the outside. First thing we have to ask ourselves is, how many times does p go into 9p squared? That is, like, what could I put here that I could multiply by p? Be more specific. What could go here that I could multiply by p in order to get this? So I know it's definitely got to have a 9, because 9 times p would be 9p. This is p squared. So I'm going to put 9p here and try that. 9p. 9p times p is 9. P and p is p squared. Okay, so that's how I know it's the right term. Then I'm going to take the 9p and distribute it onto here as well, and then bring that over to here. 9p times 7 is going to be a positive 63p. Now that we have the two terms down, we're going to parentheses and subtract. The first two terms should always cancel out. 9p minus 9p is 0. 55p minus 63p is going to be negative 8p. Once we've subtracted, we'll bring the last term down, minus 57. And we ask ourselves the same questions over again. We say to ourselves, how many times does p go into negative 8p? And the answer is negative 8, because negative 8 times p would be negative 8p. So I'm going to take this negative 8, and I'm going to distribute it onto both of these. Negative 8 times p is negative 8p. Negative 8 times 7 is going to be negative 56. Parentheses and subtract. Once again, these will cancel out. Negative 56 minus, negative 57 minus negative 56 minus a negative is the same thing as adding a positive. A double negative makes it positive. So what I'm thinking is, what's negative 57 plus 56? The answer to that is negative 1. So this is the remainder, but we don't just leave it here. With the remainder, what we have to do is we take the remainder and we put it over the divisor, and we add that right onto the end of the quotient. So I'm going to take put a plus here, negative 1 over p plus 7. And that's my answer. Now if you watch that, I'm going to do one slightly longer. Same suggestion. If I'm going to show you this question, you should probably try it on your own. So pause this video and try it on your own. Okay, if you're watching, I'm assuming that you have done the question already, and you just want to check to see if you're right. So here's how it works. Set it up. 9x cubed minus 55x squared plus 60x minus 57. This is one step longer. It's not any harder, just one step longer. I'm going to say, how many times does x go into 9x cubed? 9 x squared times. Because 9x squared times x would be 9x cubed. 9x squared times negative 5 is negative 45x squared. So now that I've distributed onto both, I know that I'm good. Parentheses and subtract. Those will cancel out. Negative 55 minus negative 45. So minus a negative is same as adding a positive. Double negative makes a positive. Negative 55 plus 45 is going to be negative 10x squared. And then I'll bring down the plus 60x. Same question I asked myself before. I said, how many times is x going to negative 10x squared? It goes in negative 10x times. Negative 10x times x is negative 10x squared. Negative 10x times negative 5 is going to be positive. Negative times negative is positive. 50x. Now parentheses and subtract. These cancel out, but they always do. 60x minus 50x is 10x. And then I bring down the negative 57. Last time of rinsing and repeating the same steps, I say how many times is x go to 10x. Well, that one's easy. Positive 10 times. Distribute. I get 10x minus 50, parentheses and subtract. That crosses out. Minus negative 50 becomes plus positive 50. 57, negative 57 plus 50 is going to be negative 7. That's our remainder. You should already know what to do with that. It gets added on to the end, right over here. Gets added on to the end of that. So if I rewrite this, my final answer is going to be 9x squared minus 10x plus 10 plus negative 7 over x minus 5. And that's the final answer. I'll show one example without a remainder, just to show you how to do it in a slightly different context. The numbers are a little different. So one more question. Number 2. 2 was an exit ticket question from today. When I set this up, it's the same setup. 3x cubed minus 5x squared plus 10x plus 4 divided into by 3x plus 1. 3x goes into 3x cubed x squared times. Because x squared times 3x would be 3x cubed. X squared times x is x cubed. And the 3 just comes along for the ride. 3x cubed. Distribute that onto here. 1 times x squared is positive 1x squared. Parentheses and subtract. These will cancel. Negative 5x squared minus 1x squared is going to be negative 6x squared. Bring down the positive 10x. And then I start with the same steps again. I say to myself, how many times is 3x going to negative 6x squared? It's negative 2x. Because negative 2 times 3 is negative 6. And x times x Hello. What's up, Dennis? Equals x squared. Sure. Well, I'll grab the rest from him later. Okay, so it's going to be negative 2x. I distribute that onto here. Negative 2 times 3 is negative 6. And like I said, x times x is going to be x squared. Negative 2x times 1, because that's the second distribution, is onto the number 1 here. So first was there, second was here. Negative 2x times 1 is nice and easy. Negative 2x. Parentheses and subtract. These cancel out. We get a minus becomes addition. 10 plus 2 is 12x. Bring down the 4. Last step, 3x goes into 12x, a positive 4 times. When I distribute over, 4 times 3x is going to be 12x, and 4 times 1 is going to be positive 4. Parentheses and subtract, and we get 0 as the remainder. So my final answer, nice and easy, is just this. Okay, I hope that helped. Try some example questions on the handout, and good luck.